to me.
It's sexy. Yeah. It's sexy. Yeah. Sexy.
My name is Monica Madrid with Football is Sexy, and yes, it's finally here, our first in-season Football is Sexy podcast. I am so excited to have Chay, better known as Melissa Chay, but I call her Chay, and of course Sanaz, who is going to be so nasty most of the season.
Most of the season, it's gonna come out.
And let's just get this out of the way right now. 49er fan,
Yes.
but behind there is like this thing with the Detroit Lions right now, okay?
Having an affair.
Diehard Niner faithful right here, bang bang, and then we have
I'm a Chargers girl.
That's right.
Hashtag maybe next year. Charger fans will get that.
But we are going to talk about all games, all teams, all players. I mean, there's 32 teams, but we had to get a little bit of the bias out of the way, just so you know.
We're honest.
We're honest.
Yeah.
We're always going to be who we are, right?
Yeah.
And real quick, shout out to Larry from Adidas.
Oh my
Thank you
gosh.
for the kicks. Yes,
So
I normally wear red, but for you, I got the blue.
Look at that.
So let's kick it off, guys.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, I always say, when people say, hey, are you a college fan? I always say, I have a major in the NFL and a minor in college.
Okay, for
right?
sure.
But we have to start off with Deion Sanders, Colorado.
Fill us in.
I mean, I get chills thinking about it. What happened this weekend was insane. So for those of you who don't know, Deion Sanders was one of the best players in the NFL, okay?
Yeah.
He was actually an amazing athlete. He also played baseball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so many things I could say about him, but he was part of the Falcons, part of the Dallas, part of the Niners.
He went around. He made his rounds.
He made his rounds,
Yeah.
but one of the best to play the game.
Yeah,
and
for
now
sure.
he started coaching.
Yes, he did. Coach Prime.
Coach Prime. And they used to call him Prime Time, which actually a lot of people think that came from the NFL, but it actually came from baseball.
Oh.
Yeah.
You learn something
Yeah,
every day.
I
That's
know.
a pretty cool
I know.
nickname,
Stay with me, people. I'll keep you in the know. No, and so he took over Colorado as a head coach.
Yeah.
Colorado literally won one game last year.
Mm-hmm.
One game. They were like, check them off the list, right? And Prime came there and said, I'm going to change the game. I'm
He
going to
actually
get you
showed
to
up
believe.
And said, I'm
right?
showing up with my luggage and it's Louis Vuitton.
Okay.
That is what he said.
And he's rocking his gold chains that says Prime. He's a vibe, okay? He has his quarterback is his son. The son is his quarterback.
Okay, that's what brought him there.
Okay,
I was
let's-
trying to
let's-
figure out where Colorado. Okay.
Listen, all these players are coming to play on Colorado because Prime is there.
I think they got 85 new players. It was like
Insane.
85 new players on their roster. I might be wrong, don't quote me on that. But they did bring a chunk of new people over because Deion's a draw, right?
Yeah.
The team was garbage the past few years. They beat TCU. That's a pretty big upset.
No. Well, even before that, let's just say there was nobody in the stands in Colorado like a year ago. Now it's sold out.
Wow.
It is sold out. He's turning the whole program around. It's insane. And what he did this weekend against TCU was in the championship, lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay? For them to go against TCU in their first game, his first coaching,
Wow.
and win by 3, I think. I watched it in Vegas. It was fire. So shout out to all the
Good for
Colorado
you.
fans. It was amazing. And I'm really excited to see what he does for the rest of the season. And trust me, it was all the talk. So
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
college football.
yeah, little
Yeah.
college football. Hey, college football sexy.
Yeah.
College football sexy. And Prime is sexy,
Yes.
by the way.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yes.
So, well, a lot has happened over the summer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of things happened on Netflix and Hulu
Yes.
and all these. I
Folks
mean,
is just killing it.
first of all, right?
I'm just killing it right
Johnny Manziel.
Yes.
Did anyone see the Johnny Manziel?
Yes.
I didn't. I'm so
didn't?
sorry. I'm gonna admit I haven't
But he's a
watched
bad
it yet.
boy. You like bad boys, no? This emo kid doesn't watch Johnny Manziel. What's going on with that?
You know what? It hadn't intrigued me yet.
Sure, I know.
Netflix has been dropping bangers so many, like they're
I
getting
know.
hurt in my head, but I haven't watched them all
And she's
yet.
still stuck on Vanderpump Rules.
I mean, come
Did
on.
you watch Johnny
I
Manziel?
did.
Okay.
I did. I
There's a
love
trip,
that.
right?
It's so interesting. I think if you were watching football back then, I mean, you know the story about Johnny Manziel and kind of his success in college, and then his slow burnout in the NFL, and just the sad story that you know the Manziel story.
He was considered one of the biggest. I hate to say it, but one of the biggest busts in the NFL.
Yes.
He was an Aggie from Texas. He won some big games.
Yeah.
Like, everybody praised him. And then what happens a lot of times, you get to the NFL and it all changes.
Yes.
The guy that you thought you were in college is not the guy you will be in the NFL. I mean, Mark Sanchez, there's Matt Leinart. Sorry, y'all Trojans, I'm just saying. I'm a Trojan, I'm just saying, but I mean, we gotta be honest,
No,
right?
totally, yeah.
There's just a lot of QBs that don't ever make that big splash.
Yeah.
Mariota.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
But I think
That
that
the money he brought into that school, though.
huge.
Yeah, I mean, I think they said from 200 million in the entire SEC to ending with 700 just at Texas A&M.
wow.
I mean, he
The draw.
made them money.
Yes.
You know,
And that was before the Neil.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, it's just so incredibly tragic and sad to see how that story ended, because it was.
Well, how did it end? I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Well,
Just drugs and alcohol, right? That basically was
just those
his
two little
downfall.
things.
It's
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's
his dad's in it. His dad talks about it, and he just, he was uncontrollable towards the end. He had so much money, and just, and how do you tell somebody with an NFL career and millions of dollars in their bank account, don't do this, spend more wisely. He just was not listening to any financial advice or life advice,
And sadly, and watching that as a sober woman, as I've been very honest about for a long time, sober 15 years and counting, one day at a time, of course, but watching that Netflix from that lens, it hurts even more, because I've seen what alcohol and drugs can do to people, and I've also seen miracles. I've seen people recover. So I know it's totally possible, and I'm wishing nothing but the best for him. But alcohol or drugs or not, like, what was like really crazy is like he watched the Zero tape.
yes, they did.
Zero tape!
Audited
And
his
like,
iPad.
don't forget the newbies out there. Like, talk about the Zero tape. Like,
They can tell how much time you spent studying
Yes.
this game.
Oh,
yeah.
on your iPad.
Yeah, on the iPad.
no.
So
He
they,
did zero.
when
Oh,
they went
boy.
through how much time he spent in his game book, like looking at
That
plays,
sucks, man.
looking
Yeah.
at tape, it was zero.
Yeah.
It was zero.
Not good.
He did
Sucks.
not spend a second.
What's that
learning.
saying? Like, you can't teach talent, but you can perfect it.
Yes.
Like, so many athletes out there are talented, but like without that perfection, it just doesn't do anything.
Yes, and I think in college you get away with that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But then come the NFL, the big boys, you gotta pull your weight. And
Well,
he was just.
And I heard somewhere in one of my documentaries that when you go to college and you go to the NFL, that could be wrong, but I remember hearing something like, you lose 2 seconds. So if you think you were this fast, you just lost 2 seconds in the NFL, because it's just a whole nother
I
level.
believe it. I believe it.
And so,
Believe
you
that.
know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, moving forward, what he will do. He still has money, I believe, left over, thank God. So I think he's going to open a bar, which is odd. I don't know, but it's interesting. But we just gave you the cliff notes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'll go watch it. I will pause my Seinfeld on repeat, and I will go watch it.
Well, even though you didn't watch Manziel, did you watch Hard Knocks?
So I
With
dipped
the
in and
Jets.
out of Hard Knocks. I
Okay.
dipped in and out.
You
Aaron
did.
Rodgers does not keep my attention. So
I'm proud of you for even dipping in.
I try.
So I know how you feel about the Jets.
Yeah, I don't care for the team, and I hate Aaron. But I'll tell you what, if I was smarter, I would have put a little bet on them before Dalvin Cook went there, because I did not see Dalvin Cook going to the Jets. I don't know where the Jets got the money for that.
So
Aaron
tired
must
of
have
it.
taken a dip on that contract, or how we talked about like pushing your money out to next year's. I really thought he was going to end up in Miami, but if I'm a betting person, I bet the odds on the Jets just skyrocket.
No.
Wow.
Well,
heard it here first.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. But I remember this same fandom, this same craziness when Cleveland Browns had OBJ, Landry, Baker Mayfield. Everybody thought, oh, there goes the ring. And guess what? Bust.
Yeah.
But and it's very possible. By the way, our stories. You know how we do prediction in our stories.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw the last one. It was about the Jets, and it said, "What do you think? Will they go 6-12? Will they go 9?
What did the
I'm
people
sorry,
say?
6-9, 9-12,
Yeah.
Super Bowl, or will they miss the playoffs?"
What did the people say?
Last time I looked, the sexy people said
What do they vote?
Criminal.
they will not make the play. They will not make the Super Bowl.
No, I don't think they're a
Wow.
Super Bowl bound
Yeah.
team at all. I think they're, I'd say 9-12 is a little light too, but that's the closest I would have gone with. They're still going to be good. They have so many
Yes.
targets to throw to now. The receiver game is just stacked in the NFL. I think this year, take the over. Oh, if you guys are going to bet, take the over. It's going to be a heavy receiver game. The scores are going to be out of control, and I mean he has a lot of targets over there now. So let's see what Rodgers can do.
Yes.
I don't know.
To
He
me,
looks good. Looks good in Hard Knocks.
he does look good. I really do think though, if they do what they're hoping to do, I'm going to be more impressed by Garrett Wilson,
Okay.
Sauce Gardner. To me, Aaron is that old dude that's on the team, but I'm sorry, but it's the young guys that are going to carry that team.
For sure.
Mark
For
my
sure.
words.
Yeah.
Those guys, I mean, I love, what is his name, Q? Williams?
Oh yeah.
Love that guy. So
oh,
I
yeah.
like some of it, but it's hard to watch for me. It's just,
Yeah, it's not the most exciting season, and you know why? Because I was really trying to figure out. I love Hard Knocks in general, but I was like, why is this season not capturing the attention?
Well, they don't want to do it either. Remember?
Yes,
Right.
also that, and also there's no conflict. Everyone is just praising Aaron. Oh my gosh,
Oh God.
there's just so much fandom from the players to him that there's not. I don't know. There's just
There's
no conflict.
nothing.
There's no.
And by the way, Sala, who was a Niner coach, by the way, you're welcome. Defensive, amazing coach, you're welcome. Is now the head coach of the Jets, and he told Hard Knocks you cannot film anyone getting cut.
That's nice.
Which I find that to be nice.
I like that.
And I appreciate that. But again,
The conflict portion of.
I'm just watching
production.
it. Yeah. So I didn't finish it, but
Yeah.
it was okay.
I know we talked about it before and how, no team wanted to come forward and do Hard Knocks this year. And the Jets said, the league bullied us into doing it. We're not going to give you anything exciting. We're not going to give you anything you want. So that's a part of it, obviously we all want to see something get cut from a team, even though it's terribly sad to watch. But they don't want to make it that appealing. I think the goal is to, not have it go on.
Just glorify.
Hey, I think the NFL is riding out this Aaron Rodgers fandom as long as they can, because after that,
Yeah.
it's a wrap.
Brady's gone. It's who else? Who are the old?
We don't
people
have
that
another
are
We
goat
don't
gonna
have
right now,
another
yeah.
goat yet. But
Yeah.
speaking of fandom, I know we're going to switch gears for 1 minute, but
Tell us.
all of the SoFis, the Levi's, all the stadiums
Yeah.
have this girl in there killing it.
Just this girl.
What's her name?
Oh, I think
Taylor.
it's Taylor
Oh,
Swift.
God.
Oh my God, Taylor Swift has taken
Oh,
over all of our
gosh.
NFL stadiums and selling out
Yes.
left and right.
Yes.
And what I find interesting about that is my sister, she's not a football fan,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
She was fanning out about Taylor.
Yeah.
And she was telling me about, and she thinks I'm crazy about the Niners, like what I do to, how I get my apparel and how I book my flights and book the hotels, and she just thinks I'm crazy all this time, right?
Yeah.
But then I'm watching her fan out over Taylor Swift and has to have her merch and
Her
the bracelets.
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh my God, it came from Chicago, and everybody else had Taylor Swift shirts. And I'm listening to her, and she's like, oh my God, and she got back. I got her a seat, I got her ticket at SoFi. She came back just high as can be.
Religious
and just
experience,
religious experience.
Yeah.
And she's like, you should have been there. And I'm like, I'm there every 6 months of the year, but my fandom
Religious
is the
experience.
Niners.
Yeah, your religious experience
I'm
is the game.
I'm like, Lauren, now you get it.
Yeah.
And I saw the lights finally go on. She's like, oh, I'm like, what you just experienced with Taylor, this is what I've experienced with my boys since jump.
Yes.
Since forever.
That's a great comparison.
Right?
Yeah, it's a great comparison.
So I'm trying to let all the newbies out there
Yeah.
know, if you're wondering what it's like to be a fan,
yeah.
and you're a Swiftie or Beyonce killed it last night too, whatever. it's the same type of thing, but picture that all 6 months.
Yes,
For sure.
6 months out of the
with
year.
your people in like your home, like arena with like just it's everything, all the merch, all
Right?
the people, all the energy. It's
I don't know. I've never seen a merch line that long before. So I went ahead and posted on my Instagram, and that merch line was like 3-4 hours long. The wrapping
Hours.
That's
paper
true.
built it.
That's true.
It's just a system.
That's
you know,
true.
I don't know if
Yeah.
for those of you who live in LA was shut down for a couple days because of Miss Taylor. Okay, and every celebrity was popping up there, and they're trading like these bracelets like you're at a rave or something.
Yes.
And I was like, what's happening?
If I go
here?
to a Niner game and I have a Niner bracelet and I try to give one to a Niner, I feel
don't
like
want
it's
to
not
do
gonna
that.
go well.
No, it's not gonna
It's not.
translate.
No.
But it's so funny because you're opening your sister's eyes to things. I actually recently went to a concert at SoFi with two dear friends of mine. One, her name is Hallie Ledbetter. She's got a great podcast if you're into golf. It's called Golf Mostly. But we're there, we're watching, the musicians playing. She goes, "What else do they use this place for?" And my head was like, "What? Hallie, what did you just say?" And I went, "Wait, you really don't know?" She goes, "No, like I know the forums right there, they have music
Oh
there, but
my
like what
God.
else do they use this place for?" And my heart just sunk. I mean, the voice that came out of me scared her as I had to educate her.
I'm imagining
yes,
Sanaz
the Chargers and the Rams play here. Let's take a walk through the stadium and look
Oh
at all
my
the team
God.
stores. But she didn't get it. But then it clicked, and she was like, "Oh, all right. Like I get it. She's a golf girl. I get it. Love golf. Up and
Right.
coming. Love it.
Yeah.
Like you were opening her up a little bit
Right.
to football and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was like fun. And by the way, do you know who Taylor reps?
Oh.
$5. I'll bet you Starbucks.
I don't know.
Oh. Eagles?
How did you get that?
I remember that was I had to pull that out of my memory
So
bank.
Sanaz
no,
owes
no,
us coffee.
She's like a secret Taylor fan. No,
Didn't
this
she
was
wear something Eagles?
collusion.
She did.
Collusion.
She did.
And don't ever sing that song again. By the way, I still have trauma from the last when we were in here the other day. Somebody was singing the Eagle Fly song. I was like,
Oh yeah.
can't have that.
yeah, yeah.
Don't do it.
I won't
Don't
do
do
it, but I know it.
Oh my God. Speaking of music,
Yes.
halftime Super Bowl.
Yeah, what's going on with
What
that?
is
Awesome
going
stuff.
on?
There's some strong feelings out there.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't know.
You posted.
on our page just what the rumblings are about perhaps Miley and Harry Styles. Is that what I said?
Right.
That they were going to do it together. Supposedly, I mean, it's just rumors.
Right.
Nothing confirmed.
Right.
But people had very strong, absolutely no.
And
Why?
it was absolutely
Why?
no. And I love Miley, by the way.
I know.
love
I'm
you.
telling you. Yeah.
I
yeah,
love
wait,
her.
what's the issue? Fill me
Love
in.
Miley.
I know.
It's a new thing.
It,
It's a new thing with me and Miley. I'm just being honest. Like J-Lo's retired and I'm on the Miley.
yep. Girl crush.
But when I started listening to the songs, thinking about what she could play in halftime, I'm like, I'm feeling like it'd have to be some covers.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Wrecking ball?
Well, okay, but a few.
Come on, no.
You get 12 minutes. I don't know.
And I'm so sorry to say this, it's going to be a very unpopular opinion.
Here
I'm
we
just
go.
tired of hearing like early 90s, late 80s, like artists in the studio. It's just boring to me. It's not the demographic.
Excuse me.
50 Cent hanging
I'm
upside down
sorry.
with all his chunky waist and like whatever. Like,
90s R&B, SWV would rock the house. Are you
But it's
crazy?
been done. We've done it.
I don't care. We'll do it again.
Okay.
I mean, if I could erase some of the Super Bowls and add that,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Katy Perry, boring. I was
Yeah,
bored to
yeah.
tears. I was like,
the shark was born from that though.
Yeah.
Melissa? Okay, but so we got a resounding no.
Resounding no, but what do we want? If the people could tell us in the
Well, we
comments,
know
give
it.
us your opinions.
We know what she wants.
Yeah.
You know, all black. Like, what's her name? Elvira. Like, on a guitar.
You know, here's the thing.
on a guitar.
A Super Bowl halftime
Emo.
show is like a good karaoke singer. And let me break it down.
Okay, tell us.
Like, when you go up there to do karaoke, first off, if you have a good voice, I don't want to hear it.
That's not fair.
This is not The Voice.
Yeah.
This is not American Idol. But when you're going to go do a song, pick a song that gets the people
Right.
going.
Okay, yes.
Don't pick your song because you have a good voice and you know I can crush this song. Guess what? No one knows that Jewel song. It's just not going to happen here. Like, play Mr.
So no
Brightside. Yeah, get the crowd in. I think Miley and Harry are both at a point right now where their like careers are peaking.
Yeah.
So I think they'd get the majority of
It would-
the younger demographic in.
Yeah.
It would have to be Miley by herself. Harry is a huge draw, but those songs, I mean, you hear Watermelon on the halftime show, Sugar, what is that?
Watermelon Sugar High.
I now know what that means.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Okay, I get it.
I know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, let us
I
know.
think there's a better option out there.
There
Yeah,
is.
who's
I
the
haven't
better
found
option?
it yet.
Yes.
I haven't
Who's
found
the
it
better
yet.
option?
We don't know yet. but that's-
SWV all day long. I'm gonna say it all year. SWV.
Okay.
Let's bring Jade.
Okay.
Let's give some people props that maybe aren't on the Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift level, but
Okay.
like the forgotten, like girl groups, guy groups that.
Go back.
Let's go back.
Okay. To what year?
I like the early 90s.
And
Oh,
see.
oh, oh.
I said it.
I'm down with that.
Is
Little
supposed to
Backstreet-
be getting
but
back
then they already
together
did
for a
it.
reunion.
They already did
Stop
it.
it.
They already did it. You were probably.
I watched
emo
that
at some-
one. That was with Brittany. I watched it.
Okay.
Janet Jackson. Remember that
See
one?
what a mess that became?
She needs another try. They
She-
owe her.
They
They
okay.
owe
NFL. You owe her.
There we go. Janet
Bring
Jackson,
Janet.
SWV. We just said it here.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Come on, NFL.
Now we're gonna just change gears.
Pivot.
I know. We heard some kind of not so good news about Michael Moore.
Michael Oher, yeah.
I'm sorry, Michael Moore, the boxer. Sorry, Michael Oher. What do we find out, Sanaz?
Yeah. Tell us.
So,
She
like,
went down the
I went down my black hole for a minute.
Yeah.
I went down it for a minute. And it's so much back and forth right now. And basically, Michael's coming forward and saying, I never knew I was entering into a conservatorship, which a conservatorship is always going to remind us of Britney Spears, right? And they're generally made for people that can't be making their own decisions at the time.
But let's back up for a minute. Explain
His
who
story.
he is.
Okay.
And the blind side.
For those of you who have not seen The Blind Side and Sandra Bullock's beautifully frosted wig of blonde hair, Michael Oher was a kid, kind of fell into some unfortunate situations, lived in the projects, and was found by the Toohey family. And they brought him in, they took him in, they treated him like his own, they put him into a private school, he started playing football. Next thing you know, he's being drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. Kind of a rags to riches story, right?
Exactly.
I mean, the makings of a beautiful Hollywood film.
Right. Which you can go see now.
Still, great movie.
Yeah.
But so let's fast forward to now. Michael Oher's played in the NFL. He's made some money, and out of nowhere, he's kind of come out and said, "Well, I'm going to sue the Toohey family because they entered me into a conservatorship,
And he
with-
thought he was.
adopted." However, in that state, you cannot adopt an 18-year-old. So legally, this is the only way to bind them together was through a conservatorship. So he's arguing like, I haven't been able to control my contracts. I haven't been able, I didn't know this was happening to me. Here's what I think is going to come down. You're going to have a really hard time proving you did not know what was happening. You've already signed a bunch of NFL contracts. But how'd you do that? Now it's also coming out that he actually threatened the family at one point and said, if you don't give me $15 million, I'm going to drop a really nasty story about you in the media.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's claiming the family made a ton of money off the movie.
Things, yeah.
Well, here's what bothered me,
Mhm.
and of course, there's always going to be two sides to every story.
Yeah.
We know this. What bothered me, though, that is fact, is that his siblings got like $7 million from the movie. Now, that just doesn't sit well
and
with
he
me.
got
And he got whatever he got. But
No.
I'm thinking,
anything?
if you're the main reason, focal point for the story, this is about you. Okay, I don't know. Like, and it's a rags to riches story.
Yeah.
Then why wouldn't you take all that money, make sure he's set up for life?
Yeah.
They were already rich.
That's my argument.
That's
This doesn't make sense to me.
it's kind of
The Toohey family
gonna
made
be
their
interesting.
money millions in fast food chain restaurants, so they're already well off. They don't need any more money. And actually, see, the numbers are all getting fudged
Yeah.
around. Someone's saying
Yeah.
$7 million. I read that each family member only got $100,000.
Oh, I did not.
That's
read
what
that.
I read.
No.
And
I don't think he'd be suing if they only got $100,000.
I think he's suing because his NFL career is done, and he probably made really bad investment choices.
Well,
Because
I'm sure
the Tooheys have come forward and said, "You want to cancel the conservatorship? Go ahead. We are not holding you to it. You could have done it at any time."
it's all sad at the end of the day. It's just, you can imagine that they were close at one time.
For sure.
And now, this is coming out and we'll keep our eye on it, but
Yeah.
it's just not.
The conservatorship versus adoption. That's
But in the state they were in, you can't adopt
Yeah.
an 18-year-old.
But
They
he-
wanted him to
but
be
he
part of the
says he
family.
didn't know. He
He's
was under the
claiming
impression
he
was
didn't know,
adopted.
which is going to be really hard to prove in court.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like your word against mine, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I don't think the Toohey family needed the money.
No.
No, they didn't.
No.
And that's what kind of doesn't sit well with me. Is
Mhm.
like, you had a chance to really, maybe do some amazing things. Like, I don't know if they have a foundation for Michael. Well, like, there's just so many things you
Yeah,
could do
for sure.
with how much does one family need? I don't know. But
Yes.
we'll keep our eye on it. Like, we're going to keep our eye on my boy, Nick Bosa. And there's two major holdouts right now. Maybe three, actually. There's Nick Bosa, Chris from the Chiefs.
Yep.
And isn't there one more? No, those are the last two.
The last
I
I
don't
mean, holdout. I don't know. Burrow doesn't have a contract.
He's gonna play. You know he's gonna show up.
Is
Right
he?
now, my boy, I'm sure he will be there on week 1. Now, Nick, that's like a big thing right now because he wants to be the highest paid non-QB. And from what I've read, they're $4 million away. If I had the money, I would just pitch in. All my Niner fans, let's just pitch in. Let's just get
Go
that
fund
$4 million.
me. Go
Go
fund
fund me for Nick Bosa, right? Can we do that? We've
Come
got
on,
We've
Niners.
got 5 days before the Steeler game on Sunday. Let's start a GoFundMe for Nick Bosa. What do you guys say?
Because he won't play. Because he will
He
not
will not play. He will not play. And I can't be mad at that.
I know.
He's the
He knows
defensive
his
player of
worth.
the year. He knows his worth. And here's what's driving, I think, a lot of the Niners crazy. It goes back. We'll get into the Trey Lance thing, but you're like, oh, we gave the farm away for Trey Lance.
Don't get me started on
Don't get me
freaking
started.
Trey Lance.
Let's talk about it.
Oh, God.
I'm going to save mine for last. You go.
The Niners and the quarterback
Ugh.
situation is so frustrating.
Painful.
It is, yes.
Painful.
It just seeing this team that is so well set up, right? Like every other position is just like, yes, check, check, check,
Yep.
check. And then to not have a franchise quarterback plugged in to just complete the roster. I don't understand the decision making that is happening. Like, how is this? How have we come this far and we are still
And
from Jimmy G? From Jimmy
twice. So didn't we
I
give
just
Jimmy
feel
G like $137 million
Yes.
before he went out with my friend Kira Mia? Hey girl.
Hey girl, hey.
Hey girl.
We love her.
And then he got hurt, and then that went by the wayside.
Everyone
and then
got hurt.
right,
Everyone
and
got
then
hurt.
and then we give it all to Trey.
Mhm.
We give up 3 picks
Mhm.
to Miami. By the way, who did they end up with? Waddle, Tyreek Hill.
Mhm.
Forget the other one, but like they killed it.
Yeah.
They killed it. And Trey hasn't even played. I don't even know how many games. I think
He's a bust.
It's a bust.
He's a
Just
huge
call it-
bust. He's a
call
big
it what
waste
it
of your
is.
time. He's a big waste of your money. And then you had the quarterback
Don't look
curse
at me
last
with
year.
anger. I
I'm listen. I am
We're
a
all
Charger
pissed
fan.
here. I'm pissed
No. I'm a Charger fan, but I'm not a homer. Like I can admit when my team makes mistakes.
Oh,
and like
it's bad.
you guys had a quarterback curse last year. Like it's
Bad.
just everyone who touched that ball was getting hurt.
And then we thought this year will be better. This year
Yeah,
we're gonna
but
make
You're
good
not going to
decisions.
take care of Bosa. It's going to be a big mistake. And I can say this, that sucks. Like, I love Joey Bosa. But Nick Bosa's a beast.
Yeah.
You better give him what he wants because you need him on your team.
So
Yes.
GoFundMe, we'll make sure we won't even take a percentage. It'll all go to Nick,
Please,
and
just pray.
we want you on the field
We can
this
raise $4 million
Sunday
bucks.
with Steelers. We can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it.
Absolutely.
We're gonna start that.
Yeah.
But back to what you're saying about the QB situation. I mean, but you're gonna trade him to Dallas?
I know.
It's a weird move.
Just like
I think
dagger
Jerry
in
Jones
hot
was squinting
salt.
at the time and thought he was getting Patrick Mahomes and he like opened his eyes and he's like, oh no, it's Trey. What have I done? You know? So
I
think
love
what
that.
happened.
I got that visual image
Right?
in my head.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That looks like Patrick Mahomes. Like, but I don't. That's a weird move to me.
It was so funny because I was posting a lot about it because there's so many things to impact. And our girl Rose, shout out Rose Garcia, shot caller, was like, stop talking about your 3rd string quarterback. Who cares? Well, she's a Raider fan, so she's a little pissed off anyway. But my point is, it's like, yeah, he's a 3rd string,
Yeah.
and then he got drafted to be a 3rd string, which is, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch, and it is not too far along to think that somehow in the world of football, Dak goes down,
Yeah.
Cooper Rush goes down, dun 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 dun.
100%.
Trey versus Brock Purdy
Oh yeah.
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I
think
mean,
we learned
could
that
it
after
happen?
last year, yeah.
Absolutely.
It could.
Well, like I said, after last year we saw so many injuries. Why do you think people like Oh goodness, Matt Ryan. Like he's gonna be an announcer now, but he's like, I'm not retired. Like keep me in mind. If it goes wrong, like you got my number. You know, and like I still think if something goes wrong in Vegas, Tom Brady's coming up. 100%. He 100% just gonna say, give me the ball.
Yeah,
I got it.
I'm in the locker room putting on my pads. Let's go.
That's you never know.
Oh
It's the quarterback shuffle right now is just insane, and with the game turning into more of that pass game versus the running game, like you need strong quarterbacks. You need a hell of an arm.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of talk about Dak Prescott. This could be his last year with Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jerry Jones is known to not make the best decisions.
Yeah.
I give him love and credit for his loyalty. He kept Tony Romo for years
Yes.
when he should have let him go. So maybe he's actually, I mean, really, maybe he's learning from his past mistakes.
Yes.
And like, Dak's been 8 seasons? How many seasons now? I don't know.
Oh,
But it's been enough time for
enough.
you to
You know
decide
who you
whether,
are.
you know who he is.
You know who we are.
Is he going to take you to the promised land? Is he?
You know what? I'm a firm believer in there has to be this amazing connection between your quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. They have to have their go-to guys.
Yes.
It's like, when we had the Chargers had Drew Brees and LT, unstoppable.
Mhm.
Then Philip Rivers came in, he just didn't mesh with LT.
Yeah.
Dak, I think, had a lot of problems last year with Zeke, and with Zeke not knowing his role, and now Zeke's gone, and Pollard's going to be the starting. I think this year we have to give them a chance. I do think him and Pollard have something special.
No.
No?
The Niners will not ever let that happen, nor will the Eagles. I'm sorry. I just don't think, this is going to be on, this will come back to hurt me. But I really just don't think that the Dallas Cowboys, they do have a great team. They do have an amazing defense. 11 from heaven. Micah, you've got Deuce. I love Deuce.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a
He is
diehard
fun.
Niner, I love watching
I
Deuce.
love how little
And
he is.
and for those of you who don't know who he is, he's like 5'5".
He's
He's a little
like
boy.
my guy.
He's a little guy.
And he is so good. He is fun to watch.
Yeah,
he is fun to watch.
yeah.
And there's nothing like that Dallas Niner rivalry. So
Yeah,
the
so
NFC is going to be interesting
It'll
this year.
Be
Yeah,
dependent
for sure.
on if the Niners get their quarterback situation figured out.
Brock-
Because-
Brock's your go-to. What is there to figure out?
As long as he stays healthy, I'm going to say it
Stay
right here.
healthy and injury free.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Every freaking fan, if we stay healthy,
That's what we
if
have.
we stay healthy.
Say that about anybody.
Now, some people don't have that joy. Like, I don't know that the Raiders are saying, if we stay healthy. I don't know that.
Jimmy G, this
I don't
time.
know if
If we stay out of jail,
I don't know if
we might win this season. Keep me out of prison.
How did
And
the
maybe
strip
we'll
club?
win.
How did the strip club?
I'm sorry.
But there are a few teams who can say,
Yeah.
if we stay healthy.
That's true.
Yeah, for sure.
It's possible.
I feel quest for 6, but I say this every year.
I know you-
Since 1996, I'm going to go ahead and call myself out every year. I'm thinking this is the year. Like, and I'm not the only fan. We all know this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But let's talk about it.
Quick question though. You
Yes.
talking about Dallas? I want to know if our sexy fans know there's a connection between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Lakers.
Well, there is. And I think we're going to talk about that on our next episode.
Okay.
Ooh.
Someone's going to be
Stay
sitting
tuned.
right here. By the way, make sure you follow us.
Try to figure it out before that.
We are going to have
Figure
some
it out.
guests, and not today, but we will have some guests, some
That's a good
surprise.
tease.
That's a good tease.
Sometimes, like
Maybe
your
they'll do
words,
their homework.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give you guys some homework. Let's try to find that connection for us. But the reason we're here is it's our first in-season podcast.
Girl, we
Thursday
made it.
night.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Done.
Okay.
We're going to give you the floor, Detroit.
Oh, I'm
This
gonna
is
rip into you
Detroit.
right now. I'm
Miss
ready.
Eminem, Motown. Go ahead, tell us.
I am just so excited for this game, you guys. It's going to be I honestly think it's going to be a really, really good game.
Well,
It's going to be Detroit and the Chiefs, and it's going to be, I think, just a really fun start to the season. A really fun matchup. I'm so excited. I'm just picturing Dan Campbell this week. I watched enough Hard Knocks. I can hear him in my head, just fired up on the sidelines, giving his team all his little fun little mottos that he likes to give them. But I think it's gonna be so fun.
So
And
I can put you on the spot. Who's taking the W?
I think it's gonna be the Lions.
okay, hold on.
I know.
Okay, wait, did you put your pick'ems in yet?
I did.
Did you all your pick'ems in?
All my pick'ems are
Okay,
in.
download the app. If you haven't done it, download Football Sexy app on Android and iPhone. Look, if you're not into fantasy football, this is so easy.
It's a lot easier.
Literally,
Coming
just
from a
click
fantasy
on a
ball,
helmet and we'll let you know how good you did. So you pick the Lions.
Let's break into this game. Okay.
Here
We
we
say
go.
it's going to be fun. Well, no, hold on. These are two offensive powerhouses.
Yes.
Okay. Last year, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to say the Lions have been a dumpster fire for many years, right?
100%.
They have. No, they have been.
Call it what it is.
Last season, they started their season going 1-6.
Yes.
Like things were not looking great.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, they end the season 8-2. All right, so things have started to change around here.
Yes.
I believe the spread currently this morning was plus 6.5 for the Lions. I wouldn't take that bet because I would take the over. I think the over was 54.5. And then you have Kansas City, who came back from a double-digit deficit, to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
So I think it's going to be a super strong game offensively.
Yes.
A big, they're just going to be throwing that ball all over.
Yes.
Kansas City's at home, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. I wouldn't take Kansas City to win because that 6.5 is a little scary to me. I would definitely take the over in this game though, because 55 is a good number. I would take the over.
This is why I don't bet, because it's stressful.
But just here with us. Just here with us.
But because I did already put my pick'ems in,
Okay.
and I went back and forth. At first I was like, okay, Kansas City, they're not going to lose at home on the first.
No.
They're just not. But then I was like, maybe Detroit will pull it off, the upset. And that look what
They're
Colorado
hungry.
just did in college, like upsets. I live for upsets. So because I would rather Detroit win,
Yeah.
I clicked the Detroit Lions.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
All right, I'm with you.
That's
And if Chris Jones doesn't play, that gives me a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives me a little bit more
Totally.
feeling good about my pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, there's some other great matchups.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Well, obviously,
Yes.
my boys are gonna take on my second team. I loved watching the Steelers grow up, and so obviously we'll be at the Stand Up Comedy Club, and we'll be watching with about 70, 80, 100 people.
Yes.
All in one game.
So
Like
fun.
it's gonna be
So fun.
crazy. I would really like Nick Bosa to show up.
Yeah.
If I haven't made that clear in this podcast, I would really appreciate you showing up for this game. We're gonna get the W either way.
Yeah.
We've got. Listen to our lineup.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like Debo,
ridiculous.
McCaffrey, Kittle, Kyle,
It sounds like Madden. It
Fred
sounds like
Warner.
It sounds like you picked
Funga, like.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk, like it just goes on, and Brock Purdy.
Oh.
I don't even want to say Mr. Irrelevant anymore because you are so irrelevant. You are so relevant now that no one should ever talk about being Mr. Irrelevant
It's a
again.
crappy
It's
nickname.
over. That was
Get out of
last
here.
year. It's all about we want a Brock,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I get
we
it.
want a Brock.
Oh,
Get it?
okay,
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
clever.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
clever.
And the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers are going to take on Miami. It's hard for me because fantasy football is back now, guys. And you guys check out my stories. I'm going to be actually doing my draft live for you all to watch tonight. But I have Tyreek Hill, and he plays for the Dolphins. And the Chargers are obviously my team. I think that game's going to be really good. As far as offensively speaking, I think Herbert's ready to play. He got his money.
Okay.
He's showing up. And
Alright.
he's going to want to impress some people. It'll be a high-scoring game as well. But the Chargers are just hungry, and I'm gonna say it. If they can stay healthy,
Yeah.
we're looking
Yeah.
to win something.
We should just get it like hashtag.
Can we get some merch?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have to.
hashtag
That's
if
gonna
we stay
happen.
healthy.
If we stay healthy, yeah.
Okay,
Let's
stay
start
healthy,
that.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Keenan Allen's gonna be the number one go-to for Herbert, but Eckler's there, who's a beast of a running back. Even I don't even know how tall he is. He's probably like 5'6".
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna have a good game. I think it's gonna be fun. There's a lot of good matchups this week. I'm actually really stoked to see Bryce Young come out.
Yeah.
I want to see what he's going to do for Carolina. I want to see the energy he brings because, you look at him compared to all the other quarterbacks, he isn't a big dude, but
Yeah.
he's so smart. And I want to see what he can visualize on the field and transfer that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be really looking forward to watching the Carolina game too.
Piggybacking off of that, I'm excited to see CJ Stroud. He's my
Yeah.
hometown guy from Rancho
Yeah.
Cucamonga. And he's going to start for the Texans. He wasn't set to start until more recently. They're going to officially start him. And so, I know it's the Texans. I know. But he's got to start somewhere, right? And he's starting. So it's going to be a really cool game just to see him turn up and see what he brings this season,
What about the Jets? Who's their first opponent? It's not the Eagles, is it?
Shoot, I can't remember.
Somebody will check that out for me, and we'll get back to that. But
Yeah.
I'm curious. I would like to see them get the first L of the season.
Oh,
Sorry.
and Rodgers just.
I'm sorry.
Is it
I
fine?
just kind of like, let's get the L, like, you know what I mean? Just because, let's kill the hype a little bit.
Yeah, you're
Let's-
over it.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
did- yeah.
let's bring it down a little bit.
Bring the ego
let's
down.
bring the ego down a little
Mhm.
bit because Aaron, I don't need him to get the first W.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
Whatever,
just gonna
get the
say
end
it.
of it.
Hey, we might not make friends here. I've said this many
Yeah,
times.
that's okay. I think we can all be really honest about each player's ability, and especially because of pick'ems and fantasy football, we have to kind of be unbiased about that stuff. Like
Totally.
sometimes I don't draft Charger players because I'm smarter than that. No
Yeah.
offense,
No.
but I
You're
am.
right.
You know what I'm
Depends,
saying?
right?
What's up?
Yes.
And like
Yeah.
all my girls out there, I've been getting like a lot of DMs asking about fantasy football. I have actually a close friend who, her husband tried to tell her, hey, whatever you do, don't pick up Eckler, he sucks. And I was sitting there like listening to this, and I walked over to her, name's Keely. I was like, Keely, you know he's messing with you, right?
Yeah, because he wants them.
Like, yeah, that's like, I heard someone the other day go,
Don't fall
oh, George
for it.
Kittle's garbage. And I was like, who are you talking about?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Like, literally, like, I'm not a Niner fan, but like, he's literally one of the best tight ends. Like,
Thank
I don't even know what to
you.
say. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Thank
We
you,
have to
Softy
be honest.
Sanaz.
I know.
Yeah,
Softy
I know.
Sanaz is
Good
back.
But we gotta be honest about player abilities, because if we're here to teach and talk like casually about football, let's be completely honest and upfront about it.
I love
And what
that.
I love is that, like, sometimes I'm like, I don't know anything about that, and you can just tell me.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That doesn't make me any less of a fan.
Yes. You heard it
I
here
did
first
that.
for all of our newbies.
Like,
Yes.
I'm learning more about the Niners. I'm learning more about the Lions because of this one over here, Detroit Rock City. But it's so interesting to have that grow, and I feel like we're gonna just help people understand it better and
Yes.
take out that like bias of like you have to know everything. We don't.
Right.
Listen, and I'll tell you right now, you're never gonna know everything.
No.
There's 52 people, 32 teams. That's not even talking
Do the
about
math.
coaches.
Right.
I mean, that's over 1,500 people, right?
I was a
We're not
communications
ever
major, I can't
going.
do math.
Yeah, I was on Soul Train. I never went to college, so whatever. But my point being, there's a shit ton of people. We can't keep an eye
Constantly
on
changing.
everything. By the way, the app just added breaking news.
Oh.
So, just so you know, so the breaking news
So I don't
was
have to dig anymore.
No.
For my
and you
feed?
just click notifications,
You
allow
made
it,
easy for us.
and you will get breaking notifications and all of
You
what's
get
going
your
on.
podcast, you get your breaking news, you get your pick'ems all in one spot, all in one app.
Trivia.
Yes.
Like, you think, oh, I'm a football fan, I don't need that. Okay, take
Prove
the
it.
trivia, prove it, let us know how you do. And really, that's it. I mean, is there anything else that we're missing? The week 1 matchup? Or is that's pretty much it,
I
right?
know, any other big ones that we're missing? I can't think
Well,
of
I'm
any.
sure they're all yelling at us right now.
Whatever
which
their
one,
team
but-
is.
Sorry, if you don't like it, let us know on the comments, and we'd love to hear what team you're excited about. And yeah, I mean, are we ready? Is episode 1 in the
Oh
can?
my
Oh,
gosh, I
it's in
think
the can.
so.
Make sure you tune in every Wednesday. Full episode will be on our YouTube channel and in our Football Sexy mobile app. We can't wait to hear from you. And by the way, if you want to come and hang out with us, DM us, message us, and let's see if maybe we can make that happen. Stay tuned and see who's coming next week. And as always, what do we say, ladies? Keep it sexy.